সেই প্রোগ্রামেতে বেসিক্যালি আমাদের যে ইন্টার্নশিপ যেটা করানো হয় ইউনিভার্সিটিতে, যেটা মানে কারিকুলামের মধ্যে থাকে, তো সেইটার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে আরো কিছু আর কি বেসিক ইন্ডাস্ট্রি কি কাজকর্ম হচ্ছে বা এই ধরনের কিছু জিনিসপত্র, সেগুলো তো আমরা এক্সপোজার অতটা পাই না ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়াকালীন বা কলেজে পড়াকালীন, যেহেতু মানে আমাদের বাইরের সঙ্গে অতটা, মানে ইউনিভার্সিটির সঙ্গে বাইরের ইন্ডাস্ট্রির অতটা ক্লোজ কোলাবোরেশন সবসময় সম্ভব হয়ে ওঠে না। তো সেই জন্য সেই গ্যাপটাকে পূরণ করার জন্য আমরা একটা, মানে আপনাদের প্রিন্সিপাল স্যারের সঙ্গে বা গৌতম স্যার প্রচন্ড উদ্যোগ নিয়ে এটা করার চেষ্টা করছেন, যে একটা আমরা প্রোগ্রাম আমরা চালু করতে চলেছি, যেখানেতে আমরা কিছু ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে কি কাজকর্ম হয় সেগুলো একটু আমরা দেখবো, একটু নতুন কিছু জিনিসপত্র শিখবো। তো বিভিন্ন কিছু 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 সাবজেক্টের কথাও আমরা চিন্তা ভাবনা করছি। এখনো জাস্ট প্রিলিমিনারি কথা যেহেতু হচ্ছে, এখনো আমরা 100% শিওর নই যে কি কি সাবজেক্ট আমরা পড়াবো, বাট ডিপ লার্নিং টা একটা ওয়ান অফ দেম। ডিপ লার্নিং ইজ বেসিক্যালি একটা রুট অফ, আপনাদের কি বলবো, মানে আর্টিফিশিয়াল ইন্টেলিজেন্সের একটা অংশ বলা যায়, একটা সাবসেট। তো যেখানেতে আর্টিফিশিয়াল ইন্টেলিজেন্স রয়েছে, তার মধ্যে রয়েছে মেশিন লার্নিং, এবং মেশিন লার্নিং এর আন্ডারে আসছে ডিপ লার্নিং। এবার ডিপ লার্নিং এটা কিন্তু আজকাল এখন খুব প্রযোজ্য হয়েছে, মানে অনেকেই নতুন সবাই কাজ করছে, প্রচুর পেপার পাবলিশ হচ্ছে, হাজার হাজার পেপার আপনি মানে আইইইই ওয়েবসাইটে গিয়ে সার্চ করলে হাজার হাজার পেপার প্রত্যেকদিন দেখি সার্চতে বেরোচ্ছে। তো এই সবগুলো তো হচ্ছে, তার কারণ মানে হঠাৎ করে ডিপ লার্নিং এত পপুলার হলো কেন? তার কারণ হচ্ছে ডিপ লার্নিং হ্যাজ এক্সিস্টেড সিন্স 1960s 70s, কিন্তু ডিপ লার্নিং এর জন্য যে আমাদের কম্পিউটেশনাল পাওয়ার দরকার ছিল এতদিন, সেইটা আমাদের ছিল না। তো সেই কারণেতেই ডিপ লার্নিংটা এখন, যেহেতু কম্পিউটার অনেক স্ট্রং হয়ে যাচ্ছে এবং তার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে আরো বিভিন্ন জিপিইউ বা গ্রাফিক্স কার্ডের জোরও বাড়তে থাকছে প্রত্যেক দিন, এবং এনভিডিয়া যেরকম কিছু কিছু প্যাকেজ বার করেছে, কিউডা প্যাকেজ, যেগুলো মাল্টি থ্রেড প্রোগ্রামিং এবং এইসবেতে অনেক সাহায্য করে। তো সেই কারণে এই ডিপ লার্নিংটা খুব পপুলারিটি বেড়েছে লাস্ট 3-4 বছরেতে। অ্যাকচুয়ালি 3-4 বছর বলাটা ভুল হবে, লাস্ট 7-8 বছরেতে। তো এই ডিপ লার্নিংটা আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটিতে খুব একটা শেখানো হয় না, কিন্তু ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে আজকাল এটার প্রচুর ইউসেজ, এবং ডিপ লার্নিং থেকেই আসছে বিগ ডেটা এবং বিগ ডেটা অ্যানালিসিস বা বিভিন্ন ডেটা সায়েন্সের রুট হচ্ছে দ্য ডিপ লার্নিং। তো এই ডিপ লার্নিং এর জন্য মেশিন লার্নিংটা আস্তে আস্তে একটুখানি নেগলেক্টেড এরিয়া হয়ে দাঁড়িয়েছে, যেহেতু ডিপ লার্নিং ফেচেস ওয়ে বেটার রেজাল্ট দ্যান মেশিন লার্নিং, এবং সেই কারণেতে ডিপ লার্নিং এর উপর ফোকাসটা খুব এই সময়ে হাইলি কনসেন্ট্রেটেড হয়ে গেছে। এবং এই কারণেতে ডিপ লার্নিং এরও কিছু কিছু ড্রব্যাক আছে, যেটা আমাদের সেটা মানে জানতে হবে। ডিপ লার্নিং এতে বেসিক্যালি কিছু ট্রেনিং সেট হয়, কিছু টেস্ট সেট হয়। ট্রেনিং সেট মানে একটা মেশিনের যে কি বলবো কোড আছে, সেই কোডটাকে শেখানো যে এই জিনিসটা কি। মানে আমি যে একটা গাড়ি দেখছি, আমি ছোটবেলা থেকে আমাকে আমার বাবা মা শিখিয়েছে যে হ্যাঁ এই এরকম দেখতে বস্তুটা একটা গাড়ি, এইরকম জিনিস দেখতে এটা হচ্ছে একটা জলের গ্লাস। তো এটা তো আমরা, আমাদেরকে কেউ বলে দিয়েছে এক সময়, এবং আমরা সেটা দেখেছি এবং দেখে শিখেছি। তো এই সেম জিনিসটাই করতে হবে একটা কম্পিউটারের ক্ষেত্রে, যে একটা আমি ছবি দেখাবো, দেখিয়ে বলবো যে এইটা একটা গ্লাস, এবং এইটা আমাকে শিখিয়ে দিতে হবে যে এইটা গ্লাস, এইটা যে একটা গাড়ির ছবি দেখাবো, দেখিয়ে গাড়িটাকে দেখিয়ে বলবো যে এটা গাড়ি, এবং একটা ছবিতে এটা কিন্তু হয় না। এটার জন্য কিন্তু খুব মিনিমাম হাজার ধরনের ছবি দরকার হয়। তার কারণ আমাদের ব্রেনের মতো কম্পিউটারের ব্রেন এখনো, বা কম্পিউটারের অ্যালগোরিদমস এখনো অতটা উন্নত হয়নি। তো সেই জন্য একটা গাড়ি দেখিয়ে দিলে পারে কিন্তু ও সব গাড়িকে চিনতে পারবে না। তাকে বিভিন্ন গাড়ি দেখাতে হবে, বিভিন্ন ধরনের গাড়ি, এবং প্রায় 1000 2000 ছবি নিয়ে তাকে দেখাতে হবে যে হ্যাঁ এটা গাড়ি। এবার যে ছবির মধ্যে যে গাড়িটাকে দেখানো হচ্ছে, এই জিনিসটাকে বলা হয় লেবেলিং। লেবেলিং আর ডেটা সেট, এই যে ছবিগুলোকে যে আমরা একত্র করে যে শেখাবো, এটাকে বলা হয় ডেটা সেট। তো এই ডেটা সেট লেবেলিং ইজ ওয়ান অফ দ্য মোস্ট টিডিয়াস ওয়ার্ক ইন ডিপ লার্নিং প্রসেস। তো এটা কিন্তু হাতে ম্যানুয়ালি করতে হয়। তো এই রকম কিছু কিছু জিনিস আমাদের শিখতে হবে, এবং ডিপ লার্নিংটা কিভাবে কাজ করে, কি মানে এই যে ট্রেনিং সেট বলছি সেটা কেন দরকার, টেস্ট সেট কেন দরকার, এই যে ডেটাটাকে যে মানে ছবিগুলোকে যে হাতে লিখে দেওয়া, এটাকে বলা হয় অ্যানোটেশন। এই অ্যানোটেশন গুলো কিভাবে করতে হয়, এবার অ্যানোটেশন গুলো ঠিকঠাক করে করার জন্য কি কি উপায় আছে, সেগুলো আমাদের দেখতে হবে। তো এইগুলোই হচ্ছে মেন আমরা এখানেতে মানে চেষ্টা করব শেখার। তো এবারেতে আমি তো অনেক কিছুই বললাম, এবারেতে একটু যদি কিছু প্রশ্ন থাকে তোমাদের, সেটা আমি একটু শুনি।
Yes, do you have any question, please? Any question? Don't feel shy, huh? Please ask Kaushik sir whatever the queries you have in your mind. As simple it may be, don't worry for that.
Sir, I have a question.
Please carry
Sir,
on, carry on.
sir,
Kaushik sir is
may
with
I
you.
ask it in Bengali?
বাংলা বা ইংলিশ, whichever you are comfortable in.
Yes,
Okay,
please,
sir.
yes, please,
ওকে
yes.
স্যার, স্যার আপনি প্রথমে বললেন যে একটা ইন্টার্নশিপের কথা। তো এইখানে আমরা ডিপ লার্নিং এর সঙ্গে ইন্টার্নশিপের কি সম্পর্ক? ইন্টার্নশিপ তো ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ট্রেনিং এর উপর হয়ে থাকে, কিন্তু ডিপ লার্নিংটা কি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ট্রেনিং হচ্ছে?
আচ্ছা, গৌতম স্যার মেবি আপনি এটা একটু বলে দিতে পারেন।
Let me clarify here. Let me clarify here. The first modus operandi with which we begin our journey, mutual journey along with GCLT and Silicon Brain, because Mr. Kaushik sir is just pioneer and director of Silicon Brain Canada. So we had the two appendages of this mission. First thing is that to implement few courses. So to begin with some deep learning, which Sarah has just mentioned, that to begin with the deep learning, you would pursue the course at least once a week or twice a week at your mutual convenience with Sir, and Sir would be taking beyond the office hours. That may be in the evening also. And you would earn certification for that short-term course. You are very right. Another thing is that SAR has got some coveted projects to be dedicated to you guys. Those who would be interested, those who would be selected after the interactions, and they would be entrusted with some your projects which you can carry out virtually from your home or your college, wherever you are comfortable with. Okay, so you would be given some access, you would be given some IP access, etc., and etc., and all the necessities would be provided by Kaushik sir and his elite company for that. So that is the different part. That is the part B. That is the project. You are very right. That is the carrying out of the project as is the part of the internship. You would also earn certification for that also, and some kind of your what respectable, I would say, the consolation also for that. So that is a different part. So part A is your pursuing your updated technical curriculum to get acquainted with the global leather industry. What Shantanu said, Debayan said, Sujit said is just your propagating the message, updated message to you over and above our Macaut curriculum. You would get updated to the global scenario also from an industry expert also. So that would be your achievement. Apart from that, you would also earn a certification. So that certification would adorn your CV and you can get it updated in your LinkedIn profile. So ultimately, you would be enriched professionally. Part B is that you would be absorbed in a project as selected by Kaushik sir in different projects. If you are interested, so that would be another coveted area for you. So you would earn certificates, you would earn experience, unusual experience which you have never faced, just encountered in your college life, because we have some limitations. Shantanu sir, your Surjadeep sir, your Devan sir, everyone has got some limitations with the resources provided at the college, available at the college. But here, there would not be any crunch of that kind of resources. So you would be free to interact with Kaushik sir and also have the global acquaintance and global view about that. So I think, Kankana, I'm okay, or is it clear
Yes,
to
sir,
you,
I
Kankana?
understand, sir. I have
So
understood.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, better, yes, better.
So
So you were all requested to pursue your interactive classes and earn the certification. We would begin with your deep learning, then we would go to some machine learning or AI gradually as your interests grow up. So Sir would be acting and is a newly appointed foreign faculty, distinguished faculty for us. Apart from that, he is the owner of Silicon Brain, so he would be also be inducting you all in some projects which would be termed as a virtual internship. Okay? Okay,
yeah,
sir. Over to Kaushik, sir.
so yeah, just to clarify a little bit, so what we are planning to do, we are planning to have a longer term, um, like a program, which is basically we would be providing a internship program in the beginning, which may last about 3 months. And during that course of time, we will give you like a brief introduction to deep learning and course materials. And we would also, like guide you, because 1 hour a week is not going to actually teach you deep learning. We will be providing with, like information and like a overview and what should I say, like guidelines and introductions to, like certain areas. And then now, who are interested, right? Like, if someone is interested, really, like deep learning is a very, very well known prospect currently. They will try to learn it themselves. Like, you will have to put some effort into this. It's not going to be like a easy thing if you want to, like just like take the course and learn a little bit overview, then it's fine. But if you really want to learn it, you have to really put in some effort. So during that 3 month time, we will take you guys through this program with the guidelines. And if you actually are interested, you have to like put in some time and learn it. And after the 3 month time, we will provide certification to everyone who has completed the training. And once that part is done, we would like to like get a few of the students who are really interested and who has learned it, because if you didn't learn it and if you are not interested, then it's not going to be easy for you to work on a project based on deep learning. Like, it's not for everyone. Like, everyone who takes the internship do not have to join the uh, no, sorry, everyone who takes the training do not have to join the internship program. That's what I'm trying to say. So maybe who is very interested and who has learned it well, who has learned deep learning well in the first 3 months, only from them a selected few will be chosen to join the internship program. And the main idea is to have you guys work with us for, say, like a few, like maybe like 9 months to a year, so that you can put in your resume that even before you graduate from the university, that hey, I have some work experience working in a company part-time or something like that, right? Like, we're not asking you guys to work full-time. Our expectations is you put in like 10 hours to 15 hours a week into this program, right? Like, because we understand that you have classes and everything, and if you can put more time, that is even better, right? But this is what we are planning, or like we are envisioning right now. And during that course of the project, you will learn more, you will have more exposure. It's not that I give you a project and I disappear, right? Because in 3 months' time, you will not learn deep learning well enough to handle a project by yourself. But we will mentor you, we will guide you. And after a 1 year of working with us, you will have a good confidence that, hey, if someone gives me a project, maybe I cannot handle it like 100%, but I can answer and tell what I have to do like at least to 70 to 80%. Does that make it clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Pakara, you have raised your hand. Do you have
Yes,
any
sir, I'm interested.
You are satisfied with the response?
Yes, sir, and I'm very much interested.
Yeah. So, what the things you would get, those who have got the absorbed in your CSE and IT stream have already got their basis erected on your basic curriculum. That means IT science is your primary and secondary destinations. Okay. So, adoration along with these kind of internationally reputed organization getting absorbed with that and getting a partial internship project done, getting your CV record over there, and putting up in a LinkedIn profile so that the other companies' HRs also can peep into your CV. To being interested before graduation, this guy has got done lot of things. So this is going to be an amazing effect on your career. And regarding those who are not part of the CSE and IT as a very core curriculum, suppose the LT over here, LT, UG, and PG, those guys also can create a parallel plateau in their professional venture towards the aspirational goal or other things like that. So they can earn an extra feather over there so that the height of the plateau, the vertical elevation of the plateau would be same like your LT, and you can jump over that next plateau whenever you wish to switch over to the other industry or not. So it is not what I believe that there is no better chance to learn from an international reputed because 365 days you are acquainted with us. Every respected faculty is present over here. Try their level best and with the dedications to render and cater to your career. But apart from that, if someone from an internationally focused area and a brilliant guy like Kaushik sir also joins you and lays hand towards the build-up of your career, and there is nothing appraisable, no? So it is going to be the most praiseworthy session for us. So do you agree, guys?
Sir, I have one last question. May I ask?
Yes, please. Not the last, but the least. But I am finding that only Kankana is speaking. No one is speaking else. Everyone is. Most of you are requested to speak about. Yes, I have also got the raised hand. Kankana is finished. Then Sandipan would speak
Okay, sir.
out. Please.
Sir, my question is this 3 months training is free of cost or we need some money to give? Free of cost?
Kaushik sir.
Yes. So we are not going to charge anything. We would provide this training for free of cost.
And then, sir, after our 3 months training, when we will selected and going for the internship, then we will get some part-time salary.
Yeah, it depends on your performance. So I think once in the beginning, we will not provide any monetary for the reason being we would like to see if you actually are interested in the curriculum or if you are just there to for the money. And and the students who will be performing well, we will think about giving you guys some remuneration as per your performance.
Okay,
So,
sir.
Pankana, I believe there would not be any dearth of your aspirational goal or your depression. So, every necessity should be satisfied depending absolutely on your performance and on your inclination towards the subject. One part, so part A is the finishing up your curriculum, which sir would be taking once or twice a week in the evening. So finish up that and then get the certification. This is a part A. Part B, getting just interacting with sir to have the project and absorbed over there and do the continue with that project as intern for 1 or 2 months. Then your inclination, your perseverance, your train towards the pursuance of that project would be keenly observed by SAD and other management also. Then you would be remunerated as wise. Likewise, don't worry about that. Apart from that, what you would be learning and what you would be posting in your LinkedIn profile, professional profile, the certification, that would be beyond the value of the money what you would be earning as a student. I think that is going to give you a long and far-reaching effect in your professional career after you when you graduate from your college and you join in the actual core industry over there. Then this your preliminary certification would give you much more dividends when what you find in a very short mission and vision today. I believe that Kankana, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
I'm very much clear.
Thank you very much.
I
So
I would also like to add a few words.
Sir, I have a question that
yeah. One by one. One is let Kaushik sir finish it. Then Sandipan. Then you raise your hand. Keep your hands raised. Kaushik sir, please.
Yeah, so what we were talking about is like this gives you a fast track entry to the data science world. And basically, if you guys are following the market currently, you would see the data science related jobs pay a lot more money compared to the other similar job in the IT sector, right? So this is going to be like, even if you are not getting paid, like I'm not saying that I'm not going to pay you guys, but what I'm trying to say is if you are not getting paid now, this finishing a program with like a 1 year internship, right, will be more valuable to you after you graduate than what you will see now.
You will find the guys. You will find a very quantum jump in your initial entry in your core sector whenever you get joined. Apart from that, if you are suppose if you are inclined to do any professional, seek any professional expertise in your deep learning sector, suppose then you would have to pay somewhere. You have to pay somewhere a very good amount of money to get you learned, and also that you would get learned professionally also. Not with a very sincerity and with a very dedicated dedications to you in part of the college. So I believe that you would not be deprived. Sandipan, do you have any queries, better? Sandipan, you have raised your
Yeah,
hand.
please start questions in the chat for me to like go through one at a time.
So Sandipan, can you speak out? Can you speak out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello. Hello.
Sandipan, everyone is listening. Please
Hello.
speak out. Speak out.
স্যার এলিজিবিলিটি ক্রাইটেরিয়া কি থাকবে? আমি সিএসসি ফার্স্ট সেম থেকে, সো আমি কি এই কোর্সটা জয়েন করতে পারি?
Anyone and everyone can join the course because it's online. So if one person is listening or 50% is listening, doesn't really make difference for me.
ওকে, থ্যাঙ্কস স্যার, থ্যাঙ্কস স্যার।
স্যার
The
যারা
thing is
ট্রেনিং
that
প্রোগ্রামটা
yes,
যারা
please,
ট্রেনিং
sir.
প্রোগ্রামটা করবে তাদের কি মানে ডিপ লার্নিং এ নিয়ে কিছু মানে প্রিয়ার নলেজ থাকতে হবে, মানে কি নাকি অ্যাজ আ ফ্রেশারও কেউ জয়েন করতে পারে?
Deep learning knowledge, I do not expect you to have knowledge about deep learning, but knowledge about Python is very much required.
ওকে স্যার।
পাইথন নলেজটা থাকলে বেটার, তার কারণ ডিপ লার্নিং এর সবকিছুই পাইথন বেসড, এবং সেটা করতে মানে সেটা যদি জানা থাকে তাহলে পরে ইট উইল বি মাচ ইজিয়ার। সো মানে তোমরা যদি মানে if you guys intend to join, I would ask you guys to start learning Python. There are thousands and thousands of free courses and YouTube videos where you can learn Python.
So, so Sion, you can contact with your respected faculty members. Debayan sir is here, Shantanu sir is here, Shurjadeep sir. So you can learn the Python language very easily, very easily. And also that is a part and parcel of our MACOUT curriculum also. So it would not be a difficult and hefty task. And to seek the language by which the machine would speak out, machine would not understand Bengali or English, so the machine would understand that language. So learning that language which you would converse with your machine, that is very much optimum and necessary. So you can learn it. You have the intellect, enough intellect, so you can learn it and very easily and quickly with the assistance, external assistance from our Kaushik sir and internal assistance from your respective faculty members. That would not be a very long-term mission. Within a very short term, you can learn it. Okay, thank you very much. And who else? Who has got else? Anything else? And any question? Any query?
Sir, I have a query.
Yes, please, Deepika.
Sir, as sir already told us that we need to learn the basic of Python, so I was asking you when the course is supposed to begin, actually.
Kaushik sir, when sir you would be able to begin it, when you would be returning back to Canada, and then onwards you would be commencing your course, sir.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure because, as I said, right, like I was not really ready to begin the program. So it will take me a little bit time to design a program and, like get ready with all the, what should I say, like the materials and everything, right? So I would say at least May or June.
I would suggest Kaushik sir that the March is gone. So if you can come in, initiate the introductory classes without any material, that interaction, conversation, and putting their queries in Quest, everything. So that would be very nice one. And then the adoration of your post
No,
material.
that we can definitely do.
Yeah. So weekly once in the interaction with all and regarding a presentation of the overview, what the global scenario, what is going on, what is their professional needs, how to get themselves decored professionally with some coveted feathers to earn the laurels in their industry, how to be a stalwart in the industry. So these kind of a motivating talks and then appraisal regarding the global scenario would assist them. So once a week interaction, I would suggest, sir. And from May onwards, you can begin with your selected course material and everything. Because you also
Yeah, we can do some preliminary classes in April, and more of a what should I say, like a more intense. I think that's probably will be better, right? Like, so if I do a few introduction classes, like anyone and everyone can join, and then from there on we can actually start, like more interested students who want to join, like they can register and start doing the course.
I would request everyone to register for these courses. Okay. So thereafter, you would find what the merit which is hidden within you. Today you are feeling shaky. I know you are feeling shaky. That I am also not a very learned about that. Do not know about the A and B also about the IT industry. What your respective IT sets know. But the thing is that whenever you would get be joining and interacting with Kaushik sir daily, after one or two interactions, you would find it a very what I would say very easy and freelancing area for you, and find yourself motivated and would like to get engaged in a very deep interactive session with Kaushik sir. I would request everyone to get it joined. So Kaushik sir, do you have anything, sir?
No, I think that's mostly it. I gave a brief introduction what we are planning to do,
So,
right?
so from April onwards, sir,
Then
you would be giving link to Shantanu sir, and Shantanu sir would be spreading to all of us. So all the guys would be joining by your Canada time. Okay.
yes, that's fine. That I will definitely, follow up and figure things out with. And but in the meantime, I think there are a few more questions. I see some raised hands.
Yeah. Those who have raised hand, please feel free to get
Also,
in converse with Mr. Kaushik
you
sir.
need to speak up just put your questions in the chat. Then I can come to them one at a time. Please put your questions in the chat on this call. If you also have any questions about deep learning or Python as well, please ask me here.
All dears, please put your queries in the chat box without any hesitations. Any simple queries also you can put it out, because
Chat box, or even you can ask. Whatever
you
is
can ask also. You can ask also.
whatever is
Please feel free. Any dears?
see, someone asked what type of project we have to do. So basically, there are multiple different projects that we are thinking, and there are different scenarios that we have to think about, because we cannot give you guys a really advanced project. So basically, something that is suited for you and also like helps us. That's all we are going to start working on. But there is no defined project yet. I also work with other people, right? So different projects come up, and whichever is, as I said, is best suited will be provided to you at that time. So I see another question. Tell us about Silicon Brain. So Silicon Brain is a startup company. I started the company in 2017 with a few of my partners. And in 2018, we did the incorporation of Silicon Brain. And since then, we have been trying to gain traction in multiple different sectors like electronic designs, embedded system, and machine learning. And yeah, so this is mostly about Silicon Brain, but Silicon Brain is still in pre-revenue phase, and we are trying to get IP, generate IP currently. Will the course be online? Yes, the course will be online.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah, another two questions have come up.
Is the total project working on Python or any other language? So generally, most of the deep learning or big data sort of queries are done mainly over Python, because there are a lot of free libraries that are available. There are also other languages like R, which is used for big data analysis. So during the course of the project, if we have to use some other language, we may, but mainly focus towards Python. So the next question is, we have to learn Python. So is it about learning only Python basics, or like we have to know GUI, module creation, etc.? GUI is definitely not required, because most of the analysis is done through code, and we are not really expecting you guys to design GUIs and stuff like that. So I would say for Python, what we are looking is mainly how to import libraries, how to use libraries, to understand how to pass, like parameters from one function to other function, how to create a function in Python. Mostly these sort of items. I mean, I would not really expect you to be an expert on Python. Even I'm not an expert on Python. I learn the things that I need. And being in this world right now where there is Google, any problem you have, you generally search and you find out. So that is what I do as well. So I'm not much different from you guys here. So as I said, I'm not going to expect you to be an expert on Python. Next question is, if we start learning Python today, will it be possible for us to go into deep learning in a single month after learning the basics? And I would say the answer is yes, because if you have any other language, if you know any other computer language, then it's always easy to adapt another language. If you have understanding how a computer code work and how the logic is created, you can definitely learn the basics of Python very quickly. If you do not have the basic knowledge of how a computer code or how a computer program works, then it will be different. Then you have to put in a little bit more effort. But definitely, as I said, if you follow tutorials online and things like that, you can start and learn the basics in a month. What are the Python libraries Silicon Brain and PawPrint use? Currently, we do not have any Python libraries that we are using. But for example, for deep learning, if you ask, right, like for deep learning, we use multiple different ones. For example, we are using PyTorch. That's like the basic, one of the architectures that we use for um, deep learning. And then there are other libraries that we use. For example, like AI dot, so sorry, fast dot AI and things like that. But it depends on what sort of architecture. I mean, it's very hard to define like specific libraries that we use. They're always spread all over the place, and depending on the code, what we need. Say, for example, if we need NumPy, right, we will use NumPy. That's one of the examples. Then, if we need some other library that is required, we just add it to it. But there are no specific list of libraries that I can give you right now. Is the training limited to deep learning, or will you provide training on other domains like full stack? We are not going to be providing any other sort of training like full stack or things like that. Sir, we have to first learn Python basics to advance. Then we have to learn first ML or AI. Well, machine learning and AI is basically two sides of the same coin. It's not different. Um, as I said, AI is like the superset, machine learning is a subset of AI, and deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Now, I asked, like, I'm really focusing on deep learning here is because deep learning is easy, it's more structured, and there are a lot of open source libraries available. So is with machine learning, but machine learning is more complex, and it's not something that we can learn in 3 to 4 month time.
I do find that Shantan, there is only a figures, some 000 in your chat box. Shantan, can you please speak out? Shantan Dam.
Sorry, sir, my keyboard is not working.
So please speak out. Please speak out. Please speak out. Your queries.
Sir, currently I'm asking something like this project. How can I get this project online virtually? I don't know that something like that.
Okay, don't
How can
worry
I
about that.
cooperate with this?
Yeah. Kaushik sir, please.
Once we have set, once we have everything put in place, I will definitely get in touch with you guys, and I will share all the information. But right now there is nothing there yet. But in a month time, you will definitely like see some registration forms and things like that, and you will have a better understanding how to handle that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Anyone else? Shantan, anything else?
No, sir. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else who has got your the query just captivated in your mind but not able to express yet? Anyone else over there? Here? Yeah, another Anirudh Kundu, another query. Kaushik sir, please.
What I have to learn in deep learning, in this deep learning. I mean, definitely we'll have to learn the basics, and then as we start, you will go into more advanced um, understanding of deep learning and how it works. Also, in that retrospect, you will also learn like programming language. You will also have to learn like Python and stuff like that, and understand how data sets work, how you have to annotate, things like that.
Thank you, sir. So, anyone else? Anyone else who has still queries in the mind but not have expressed? Please, you can speak out also. Anyone else, please? Either in the chat box or you can speak out. So, sir, when would be our interaction with the students? Your interaction, rather, for the next week, sir.
Next week, I don't think I can do it.
Next to next week.
I think we will. I will actually talk to you and figure it out. Okay, because
Okay,
um,
sir.
yeah, next week it's not possible because I will be returning back from here.
Returning back, yeah, yeah. You have to get accommodated over there also, and also rearrange all your amenities over there.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Have
sir, two queries
question.
have been posted in the chat box. Anirudh Kundu and Kankana Pandit. Two queries are there, sir. Please.
In this course, we have to learn algo and computer networks. Algorithm for sure. I mean, anything you write on a code is basically algorithm, but I'm not sure what sort of algorithm you're asking. Like if you're asking if we need to learn, if we will be taught graph and tree balancing, then the answer is no. And there is no computer networking that we need to or that we will be learning. But if you have some specific questions, maybe we can address that. After 1 year internship, then what will we do, sir? I mean, if you still are interested in working with us, you can still continue to work. And if you don't want to continue, it's up to you. Because, I mean, a lot of the time, if you get a job in like, CTS or TCS, you are probably not going to work with us anymore, right? So that's why we are um, inclining towards a year of internship after the preliminary course. But if you would like to continue, then that's up to you, and you are more than welcome.
So whenever you would be absorbed in your professional careers, also suppose I was speaking about the TCS and the CTS. So I believe that spending 2 hours a day for your extracurricular activities also, this initiative would just hamper your day-to-day work, I believe. Because apart you would find whenever you would get absorbed in your IT sector, apart from your allotted projects, you would be asked to do something for the which is called the FI, that is a firm initiative for your internal development, internal management progression, which would be counted as a credit point whenever you would be paid increment in the appraisal year. So these kind of jobs, over and above your dedicated jobs in your corporate sector, so also would get add-on also. So you can continue. If you wish, you can discontinue at you are at liberty, but you have no issue if you continue parallelly also. So that would be very fine enough for you. Sir, am I okay, sir? Is it okay, sir?
Yes, that's exactly what I said, right? Like, I'm not going to, I even like the first year, right? Like, you don't have to stay for 1 year. Like, I cannot force you to stay because if I force you to stay, you will not be doing well in your, um, like in the task that you have to do, right? So it's basically like totally up to you guys. Like, if you don't like it, you leave at any time. But I mean, we are trying to do this because we are also trying to, like teach you guys. And after learning a little bit, right? Like if you leave right away, you tend to forget. So if you actually use it for a little bit time, it's beneficial. And if you sometimes think about, like maybe some years down the road, I would like to go and do my master's, or I want to move to Canada to get a job there, this will be very beneficial for you guys to show that you have job experience from a Canadian company. It will help you get a job in Canada, as well as it'll help you getting, points for getting a permanent residency in Canada as well.
And also the referral. A referral from your Canadian company would also help you getting migrated abroad also.
Yeah, see, I don't think that would be a true statement, because a referral from a Canadian company may not be uh, that much of a help in, but referral from our company to another, like if you are applying for a Canadian company and if you put us as a reference for you working here, that is a very positive part, because a lot of the time if you are working in a, like if you're applying for a job in a North American company, they always prefer for them to have some North American work experience, because trust me, the work culture is very different from what you see in India versus what you see in North America.
So, sir, there are a few queries in the chat box. Can you please respond, sir?
Uh, do you have to learn big data analysis
First with
for this
Kankana
course?
Pandit. First with sir Kankana Pandit. Sir, after 1 year, I will be working as part time or full time.
Um, that I cannot really answer, but I don't think we have the capability of hiring full time, so it's probably going to be part time.
I believe that will also be a plus point for you guys professionally, because you would be absorbed full time somewhere and also would be doing part time for the Silicon Brain. So 1.5 professionals you would be. So 150% of yours would be absorbed professionally, and you would be learning a lot.
Do we have?
Yeah, next is Ankan Deria, sir. Ankan
Yeah, do we
Deria.
have big data analysis for this course as a prerequisite? I don't expect you to, but if you can learn, that is great. After learning deep learning, what type of project we have to work? I already answered this question. Um, there is no set project. So depending on the time and the project availability and the capability, we will be assigning it to you guys. But we are actually planning to work on some language related projects, or like object detection, things like that. Sir, if I want to work at Silicon Brain, I'll also get a chance to go to Canada. This is a very, very tough question. Every year the laws change, so it will depend on that. What are the things we will learn apart from deep learning? Um, how a job sector works, how the international market works, the what are the uh, work culture is, and how different it is from here. I would say those are the main things that you will be learning.
And apart from that, what the discussions we had with Kaushik sir, that apart from the deep learning, which would be the mainstay of the course, we were planning something about the AI, and also SAD is a very specialized. SAD was our previous faculty in our automation also. So SAD would be guiding you as an accessory subjects apart from that also. Sir, am I okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, as I said, right, if anyone has any specific question, I'm not going to say no to that question if I know the answer.
Yeah, so you would have a bigger domain. So initially, it seems that you would be beginning your journey with SAP with the deep learning, but it would get expanded. The nucleus would get expanded. So you would also get other subjects incorporated during your discussions also, and there will be a gradual expansion. Gradual expansion, don't worry. So there will be no confiscation towards a particular subject over that. So you would be expanding gradually and gradually as and when your queries would get expanded, your response from your sales and your involvement would also get involved. But I believe that would be a very, very nice international journey for you. Another question is from Devjit Sen. Sir.
Yeah, can I learn about bioinformatics and computational biology using this deep learning? Most of the bioinformatics and computational biology is using deep learning as a base. So definitely you will have uh, exposure to that.
And apart from that, we were also requesting Madam, that means our respected wife of Sir. She is a very expert in biology and also this kind of bioinformatics. If she gets time, spare time, she would also be joining hands with Sir towards the interaction with you guys. Yes.
Actually, we also have one of our partners is basically is a faculty member in University of Hamilton, and has been working on um, like early analysis and early detection of breast cancer. So I mean, it will be a definitely very good exposure because she is very, very knowledgeable and she has over 300 research paper published already.
So that would be a great opportunity for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's also from Kolkata, from Howrah area, and she did her bachelor's in Beshu, and then from there she actually worked in University Windsor from the same lab where I did my master's from. When I was doing my master's, she was doing her PhD, and that's how I met her first time. And then we worked on a bunch of different projects in next few years. And yeah, when we formed the company, she was one of our partners.
So that would be your extra gift from. So bioinformatics should not be an issue. So once you get proceeded with your normal courses, ritual courses, what Sad was discussing, then everything would get revealed up with the time. So don't worry about that. Your expansion of your knowledge domain is going to get expanded. Only your sincere participation, sincere pursuance is just solicited. Everything. So anyone else who have got any queries towards that? Either in the chat box or verbally also you can express any dears who have been left out or have got the queries in your mind. So no one left over here. So should we conclude our session? So
Sir, I've got a
yeah,
question.
yeah.
If
Please.
I am to know that what silicon brain actually do in layman term.
In layman term, so basically we design consumer electronics right now. So for example, consumer electronics means any electronics that is sold in a store, like like in Capital Electronics is known as consumer electronics. So we are doing a bunch of stuff with lighting right now, and we are also working on algorithms like deep learning stuff to have smart. So basically, one of our project is basically to have a better translator. For example, like Google Translator, right? Um, so English to Bengali translation is pretty bad if you use Google Translator. So we are trying to make one which is a lot better than Google Translator because there is no such software available right now, which is other than Google Translator to translate English to Bengali or Bengali to English. Does that make sense?
Thank you, sir. Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very beautiful response. Very beautiful response. Sadhu, do you have any more question?
Till now,
Bali?
no, sir.
Still no. Okay, you are satisfied. Anyone
Also,
else? Anyone else?
even after the session, just please forward it to like someone, and it will be forwarded to me, and I can answer it accordingly.
So if you sir, requesting you sir, if you can just put your mobile number, if you do not have any objections in the chat box, so that the students can
No,
note it and can
I don't want to share my mobile number. I would rather have my email here.
email. Better the email. They would be sending your queries and would be in your touch, sir.
Yeah, I would rather because not all the time I can answer my phone. As I said, it's a very different.
Exactly.
Scenario.
Very nice, sir. Very nice.
Like if I'm in a meeting, I would never answer my phone. So it's always best to have my email here.
Yeah. Sir, can you please put down your email, sir?
And I would request, please do not share my phone number with anyone without my permission.
No. Never. That's why I just raised the same question intentionally. Intentionally, I raised the question. Okay.
Thank you.
So anyone else has got any queries? Anyone else has got any queries so that we can conclude our session today? So in the next week, Sir would be fixing up, or next to next week rather. Sir would be reaching Canada next week. So next to next week, there will be some interaction. So Sir will be letting us know what will be the time and what will be the link. Is there any more queries from you guys? I believe there is no. So principal Sir is here. Our principal, Praggo Das. Another query, Subhadeep Roy and Praggo Das. Sir, two queries have been posted.
Yeah, as I said, you will get it eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So our sir, the principal sir is here. Our respected principal sir. I would like to say a few words to our Kaushik sir and also towards the consortium of our students or faculty also. Sir, please.
Yeah. Nice, Mr. Kaushik, Professor Gautam, and my colleagues, my dear students. It's a nice interface online, and really I am happy to see that permissible number of students they have already entered and they have listened to this course, and I feel very much hopeful about the continuation of this webinar so that the students can learn further, can make the bondage stronger with silicon brain, and in fact we shall our touch with silicon brain will be in deep fraternity and in further strengthening of the bondage. This will be done by our students who are very much inquisitive, and as there is no barrier of discipline to join this session, hopefully the director of Silicon Brain will also he will help all students, irrespective of the discipline, to join that particular course and to join or to switch over to your what should I say? Your software discipline or software department. Suppose any laser technology students like Devjit, he is having some inclination on bioinformatics, and so naturally, if he can learn something, or if he can join your organization in any mode you like, he will be facilitated and he will be groomed to be enlightened further to switch over to some other discipline like software or IT sector. And all whatever we have learned today, whatever we have heard today, it is just by dint of the magnanimity of Mr. Kaushik Ray, who has all that, has come all the way, here, and who has paint for our students. Uh, in fact, I feel the students would also reciprocate. My colleagues will also help the students to reciprocate, and we shall be in a deeper and bigger fraternity with our Silicon Brain and GCELT. Really, my heartfelt thanks and regards to Mr. Kaushik, Professor Gautam, Professor Devan, and my colleagues. Professor Santuni is also hopefully here. So, my students who are the main stakeholders, and I feel this continuation of this program will take place in the near future, so that the students also can join with better and greater interest of learning. My heartfelt regards to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and motivating words. So we really feel encouraged by your gracious presence and your encouraging words also. So we would be, you would be learning the deep learning from Silicon Brain, from Kaushik sir, and we would be in a very deep relations also. So everything is going to be deep in the next week, probably. So I would request our Shantanu sir, very respected and beloved Shantanu sir, HOD, CSE and IT, to speak about the Silicon Brain and now about our future relation, which is going to get consolidated with the Silicon Brain and GCLT. A few words, sir. Shantanu sir, please.
Okay. So thank you. First of all, thank you, Kaushik sir, for being with us and for signing more with our institute. And dear students, I think it's a great opportunity for you to get good exposure. So keep in touch with Kaushik sir and register yourself in this program. Hopefully, it will help you. So thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your continuous guidance and your august presence, Shantanu sir. So I would request to conclude this session by rendering vote of thanks by our respected and beloved Debayan sir. Debayan sir, if you just render the vote of thanks to all concerned over here, and then we can conclude graciously. Debayan sir, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kaushik Roy, for your presentations. And all the students, I know that some of you know the basic of machine learning and deep learning algorithms, but of course the institutional aspects and the company aspect, that are two different, because in company they actually do the projects hands-on. So it is a very good opportunity for all of you if you can join with Silicon Brain. And thank you, Kaushik sir, for your speech. And I think the student who actually don't know about anything about the machines and the deep learning, at least you got some idea, basic idea of what is actually the meaning of that. So thank you, Gautam sir.
Thank
Please.
you, sir, for your kind words and also a very befitting conclusion by rendering vote of thanks. So we pray to the Almighty that our association would get enriched with the time, and that their students also get enriched, and we also pray to the Almighty that our Silicon Brain will also get enriched with the time by its own business and by its own meritorious, just I would say, the contribution towards the society. So thank you, Kaushik sir. Stay blessed, stay safe, everyone, and pranam to our respected principal sir. So, principal sir is requested so that we can conclude the session to allow us.
Pardon?
Can we conclude the session of today, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Kaushik sir. Thank you, Kaushik sir, for your gracious presence and gracious participation.
Thanks a lot.
All right,
Thank you, sir.